Hi everyone, this is Kat here from Crafted by Kat. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to hand line a granny square pouch. So we're going to start with it as a big granny square. So I've made this to my measurement. So this is going to be for my laptop cover. So just as a reminder, I do have a separate video on this, but I wrapped my laptop around it as so, and just so it fits in there. So do go and check out my other video if you want to know how to make the granny square. But otherwise, this video is to show you how to hand sew the lining on. So what you're going to need is your square, some fabric that is the same size as your square, some sewing thread. I've got an invisible sewing thread, but any sewing thread is fine. A sharp sewing needle. This is a long one because it's what I've got, but it can be any sharp needle. Some scissors, and I've got some clips just to hold the fabric in place. I'll be ironing my fabric today, so you may also need an iron and something to iron on, but that's not absolutely essential. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is to lay out my fabric. This is to get the right size. So I've chosen this fabric from my stash. So we're going to lay our square on the fabric. So what you want to do is leave about an inch of fabric. I'll show you this way, about an inch of fabric spare on each side. So then I'm just going to cut along here to leave about an inch and cut along here to leave about an inch. It doesn't need to be exact because we'll be folding this over in the next stage to line it up with our square. But for now, you just want about an inch extra all the way around your square. Okay, so I've cut out my fabric, and now what I'm going to do is place it on the back, so the inside of my granny square. So that's the side where I've weaved in all my ends. I'm just going to place it so you see it completely covers it for now. Get it in the centre. So then what we're going to do is fold over each edge so that you've got just, I'll zoom in just so you can see. So you've got just this blue edge around. Okay, so we're just going to go around and do that on each side. So I'm just going to fold over each side, try and flatten it with your hand so you can see where you'll be ironing. And then just turn the next side. And again, fold over the edge. So you can see just that blue edge. And again here, this last side. Okay, so I transferred mine to a tea towel so that I didn't damage my surface, and I've just ironed out the square with the edges folded over so that it'll be nice and easy to sew to my pouch. Okay, so just for neatness, I've just chopped off these bits of the corner, so that won't affect the overall look. And this isn't essential, it's just to keep it a bit tidier. So just that little triangle there. Okay, so you've now got your, let's get rid of those. You've now got your square with your ironed edges. You can see this isn't perfect, but it won't matter, you won't be able to see it when it's on the square. So I'm going to take our granny square, again with the wrong side facing towards you, so this side where you've got all your weaved in ends. we're just going to place that this way round, so its edges folded under onto our granny square. So take a minute to position it, make sure that all the edges line up. Okay, so we've now got fabric. We've now got our fabric lined up on our square, and we're just going to slowly sew all the way around. Just going to start off with your first through, so leave a tail there, and then just back and forth through the fabric and through the square. To leave those last stitches, the stitches of your last round, with no fabric attached, because you'll be using those to sew your pouch together later. Just keep going back and forth. Just be patient with it, take your time, it may take a little while. Try and keep your stitches evenly placed. Make sure that front tail doesn't get caught up. So you see, I'm just going to keep working. Okay, so you can see my sewing line there. What I want you to do is just to keep working all the way around your square until your whole piece of fabric is attached to the edge of your granny square. So I will see you back when you finished attaching the fabric. Okay, so we've now attached our lining to our square, so you see that's completely attached. So what we're going to do next is we're going to fold our granny square into the pouch shape. So we're going to start off by folding up the bottom corner into the centre. Then we're going to take the two sides, and we're going to fold them inwards. So you see that's formed an envelope shape, and we're just going to sew up here and then down here, and then fasten that off, and you will have your envelope. And I'll then show you how to attach a button so that it folds over into the envelope. So just seam along here, and here you can either use sewing thread or you can use yarn, whatever's up to you. Okay, so that's your pouch all sewn together. So the final thing we're going to do is just attach a button so that you can close it. So if you just use your top piece and fold it down and see about where it folds to, which for me is about there. So sew your button here, and then you're all done. Okay, so here's our finished pouch with the buttons sewn on. I also just made this small, I don't know what you call it, this sort of toggle to go around the button. So I just joined my yarn and then chained 8. Joined again and then weaved in all my ends, so that will just fix around the button. So there we have it. That is how you hand line a granny square pouch. So if you're not good with a sewing machine like me, I hope this video has been helpful, and please share it with me on Instagram. Cheers.